What's up guys, and welcome back to the ArchiTech Network. In this episode, I want to talk to you about the hardware and finding the right laptop as an architect. There's loads of conflicting advice online about this kind of stuff, so I want to give you my own advice based on experience of what I see happening in practice and working with computers over the last 10 years. We're super excited to announce a new partnership with MSI Gaming. Having a sponsor like MSI is mind-blowing. It's incredible to see how much the channel has grown and to have a sponsor of this caliber. They've sent us this new MSI Creator A16 laptop, which I've been using for the last few months, and I've been blown away by it. In this video, I'll walk you through the important decision points when buying a laptop as an architect and review why specifically I went with the MSI Creator A16. Before we get started, I want a quick note. Reviewing tech is something that we want to do more of here at ATN. We're especially interested in reviewing emerging software and technology in the AEC space, but I want to give you guys advice and reviews that is honest and true to my opinions without being influenced by sponsorship. And MSI have been a fantastic collaboration. They literally just sent me the laptop and didn't really ask for anything in return. So this is my honest and open opinion of the laptop. If you're interested for us to review your software, especially if you're building the next BIM platform or computational tools, please reach out to us. As always though, if you like this video, give us a like and a subscribe. The larger the channel grows, the bigger the collaboration and opportunities we have to bring you useful content. Otherwise, let's get started. All right, so let's start from the very top. If you're thinking of buying a new computer as an architect, first there are a few key questions you need to walk through to determine what kind of computer you actually want. So there's three key things: laptop versus desktop, Mac versus PC, and also what kind of brand should you look for. First up, the age-old debate of Mac versus PC. This is a really common and misunderstood debate. I see online a lot. It's more of a clickbait thing than an actual debate. The simple answer is, if you're an architect, 100% you're going to want a PC. And the reason why is really simple. Every piece of software you're going to need to use as an architect will be on a PC or come out on PC first, and then eventually, if they even make a Mac version, they'll release the Mac version months after. So if you always want to be behind the curve of technology innovation, get yourself a Mac, because you'll always be 6 months behind everyone else on a PC. And simply every software you need to know as an architect is available on PC, whereas only some of the software that you need to know is available on Mac, and that's it. Now, before you start jumping in the comments section, yes, you can use Windows on a Mac, but again, it's a bit pointless because your hardware in a Mac is tuned to run Mac iOS and not Windows. So it's sort of like having a Ferrari and putting a Lamborghini engine in it. You're not gonna get the same performance out of it necessarily. Also, as you've seen in our tours, we've been to many of the top firms in the world, and I can't name one where I haven't seen that every computer is a PC. There are some firms that do use Mac, but they're very rare and usually not very tech driven. But just to add that Macs are great laptops, beautiful designed, and most architects still ignore all these downsides of having a Mac simply because it looks cool. There could be a future where, as more software moves to the cloud, the Mac versus PC debate will essentially become irrelevant, but for now, there's no question you're going to want a PC. The second question is then desktop versus laptop. And this one really revolves around mobility and performance. So the obvious one is a desktop is not really that portable. So like me, if you travel with your computer a lot, then you're clearly going to want a laptop. And even though 90% of my time is at home working on my laptop desktop setup, it's still nice to move around your house with your computer and you can use it anywhere. The other point is performance. So typically with a desktop, you get way more performance for your money. It's often a bit of a misunderstood. It's also really unclear that hardware for your PC and laptop is very different, even though it's advertised as the same thing. For example, a NVIDIA 4090 graphics card for your laptop is very different to a NVIDIA 4090 graphics card for your PC. And whilst it's advertised as the same thing, clearly you're going to get more performance from the PC version. The main reason I see people going for the desktop option is if you really need that heavy performance. For example, you're a Viz person or an Unreal expert building these massive scenes, rendering a lot, and maybe a PC might be better for you. Otherwise, for the general architect, I would say you're going to get more than enough performance from a laptop. And this brings me to the last point, which is what kind of laptop and brand should you look for? And for me, over the last few years, it's been gaming laptops. Gaming laptops, for me, have blended that performance that you might get from a desktop with the mobility of having a laptop, particularly over the last few years where your graphics card is becoming more and more important. These gaming laptops have really given you that. So again, this is coming from my own experience. The three brands I've tried out over the years are Alienware, which is made by Dell, Lenovo, and now MSI. And I would say these are the three key brands in this space. And to illustrate that, these are the computers I've actually had. This is my Alienware, which I had for years. Then I had a Lenovo, and now I'm with MSI. Now with gaming laptops, there is of course some trade-off with regular laptops. First one is the style. Now most gaming laptops tend to be a bit intense looking, a bit like a spaceship or something that's about to take off. However, over the years, I've seen them bring out models that are more kind of professional and sleek, and the A16 has really nailed that here with no intense LEDs, giant fans. It's much more simple and clean looking computers. The other thing is weight, battery life, and charger. So again, typically with a gaming laptop, they will weigh a bit more and your charger will be a little bit bigger. And this is sort of the trade-off you get with having that higher performance. I see this trend slowly getting better again with the A16, where the computer is fairly light, thin, and it has a pretty light power block. Battery life is also a fair bit less with gaming laptops. If you're running these heavy programs like Revit, Twinmotion, Unreal, you're going to use a lot of energy and your battery only lasts so long. So usually you want to be plugged in somewhere as you travel. For me though, this isn't really much of an issue. Okay, so now we've honed in on a gaming laptop. Now for you, that might be a desktop, but regardless, the next question is about the specs of a computer. So what specs of a computer matters for you as an architect? So to keep it simple, there are essentially four key things that we care about as architects: the processor, the graphics card, RAM, and the bonus point, which is your hard drive. So processor, otherwise known as your CPU, this handles calculation logic and execution of programs. So for architects, this affects things like your Grasshopper scripts, modeling in Rhino, and other computational design workflows like daylight analysis and things like that. These all rely heavily on your CPU, and specifically a thing called single thread performance, which is essentially when something runs on one of your cores of your CPU. There are some visualization programs such as V-Ray that also use CPU to render things. So what to look out for when you're buying a computer is a high core count for multitasking and a strong single thread performance. So this is what's measured by clock speed. So popular choices are the Intel Core i7 or i9 or the AMD Ryzen 7 or 9 series. Next, and maybe one of the most important things, is your graphics card. So this is otherwise known as your GPU. Your graphics card manages rendering, display, graphical communications, which is all clearly very crucial for us as architects. A simple way to put it, if you've ever experienced your viewport like moving slowly or lagging, this is because your graphics card is struggling. So your graphic card enables you to deal with complex 3D models in Rhino, Revit, and other programs, and it really improves real-time viewport responsiveness. The other key aspect is rendering engines. So Luminon, Twinmotion, Enscape, Unreal Engine, all these real-time tools, they all rely on your GPU for these photorealistic outputs. GPU is also critical now for AI as well. So if you ever seen that your laptop is AI ready, a lot of these programs will require you to have an NVIDIA graphics card or a decent sized graphics card. So when it comes to graphics card, they are really important for your computer. Popular graphics card is NVIDIA's GeForce RTX series or the AMD Ryzen Pro series. These are probably the most popular options. The key thing to try and get is the largest VRAM. So for most programs you'll be using, you usually need a minimum of 6 gig. Ideally you want 8 gig or more for larger projects. And next we have RAM, random access memory. RAM allows you to essentially run simultaneous programs at the same time without experiencing slowdown. So in simple terms, that's having all your programs open without having to wait for things to open and close. Clearly, like most architects, you usually have a load of programs open. So Rhino, Revit, Grasshopper, InDesign. So your RAM is another important one for you to be working quickly. RAM is usually measured in gigabytes. As a baseline, you probably want to have at least 32 gig, which will handle a lot. I've had over the last few years 64. You can always go up to 128. Like I said, I've had 64 for the last few years, and it can handle a lot of complicated stuff. So finally, the last point, which is sort of a bonus point, is your hard drive. And this one is important because as an architect, you're dealing with a lot of large files, and there's a bit of a trend of hard drives getting smaller. So it's important that you have space to load all of the software like Revit, Rhino, Unreal, Twinmotion. They're all quite large, so you need space to put them on your hard drive. Not to mention, you're also saving these heavy files, large files, on your computer, so space can really spiral. I would recommend at least having 2 terabytes of storage on your hard drive, and then supplement that with either an external hard drive for your files, or use something like Dropbox to store your files on the computer, but also on the cloud. So I've been using Dropbox for the last few years, and I've been a huge fan of using Dropbox. Okay, so now you know everything to make your own decisions on buying a new laptop. Let's look at why we partnered with MSI and why I went with the MSI A16 Creator laptop. Specifically, the A1 VIG is the model that I have. So firstly, why I went with MSI. So one thing I really like with MSI is they have been solely focused on the gaming world for a while. So unlike some of the other competitors where their gaming side has been acquired, such as Alienware, which is part of Dell, or in the other case of Lenovo, they started from more of a general market and then specialized in gaming. MSI have been the specialists in this space, which is something I quite liked, and are now coming out with these lines like the MA16, where it's a gaming laptop transformed with more of a sleek aesthetic for more professional or creators, which I guess I am technically both as an architect and a content creator. Style-wise, I think the laptops, it really doesn't look like a gaming laptop. It's really sleek, simple design. You'll see even the logo is super sleek. It's kind of got this matte finish, which is nice. This is in this kind of, I would call it like a space gray. I think on the website I've seen that it also comes in black. So if you're an architect and you want to stay all black, I think there's options for you as well. This is also the 16-inch laptop, so that's your classic size for fitting it into your backpack. That's basically your standard size for a portable laptop, which is also really nice. Also, as you can see, pretty thin, pretty lightweight. So this comes in at around 2.1 kilograms, which is, for me, that doesn't bother me carrying that around in my bag. Also see on the back here, it's got this kind of nice sleek design. You've got a couple vents on the back, a couple on the side. It's fairly quiet. It doesn't get too hot unless you're like leaving it on a pillow or something like that, which you shouldn't do. So yeah, overall super nice in terms of the style. The keyboard is also really clean, it has a great touch and comes with a number pad, which I use a lot. Some people like that, some people don't. The battery life is also really good for a gaming laptop. I actually use it away from the desktop setup and have it just sitting on the sofa or something, and it lasts like a good amount of time. In terms of ports, you have a few options. On the right, you have the charger, USB Type A, USB Type C, and an audio port. Nothing on the back, just this Creator logo, which is quite sleek. On the left, you have an Ethernet port, HDMI, and micro SD card, and another USB-C. At the top of the laptop, you've got your classic inbuilt web camera, which is pretty high quality. It's also got that nice feature of a manual shutter. So if you're worried about people hacking in and viewing you, you can override that. Also, the screen itself is pretty high res. I'm not like a resolution nerd, but it's more than enough for what I do. To be completely open, the only constructive feedback I have on this laptop is it would have been nice to use a bit more of the back so you can add ports there. I typically prefer the charger on the back and also add one more old school USB port, but maybe that's just me being a little bit slow to transition to the new USB-C ports. In the box, there's nothing too crazy to add. It does come with this really nice screen cleaner and a little bag for your laptop. Otherwise, just the usual charger and instructions, but the box itself is pretty nice. So in terms of what spec this laptop I have, so this one we have the Intel Ultra 9 processor, which has 16 cores, which is very good. Graphics card wise, we have the best you can get right now, which is the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. I know that's a lot to say, which has 16 gig of VRAM, so that's plenty enough to handle things like Unreal. RAM wise, I have 64 gig, so again, plenty to handle all the different applications that I have open. And finally, hard drive, we have a 2 terabytes of storage space. Plus, like I said, I use Dropbox so I can selectively sync what is on my computer and what is on the cloud. Performance-wise, I've been trying this over the last few months and having it with all my usual programs here, from Rhino and Grasshopper, using it for various scripts, running some analysis on it to test the performance. Revit, I've also been using a little bit of Rhino inside, and Revit seems much more smoother than usual on this. And of course, I've also been testing it on the Viz stuff like Enscape, Twinmotion, and Unreal. So here I'm opening one of their sample scenes, and you can see it runs pretty smoothly. Of course, I also use it to create content as well. So I'm also doing video editing and classic graphic stuff, which is your usual suspects of InDesign, Photoshop, and it's all been super nice to work with. So I no longer wait for things to compute or render out. So that means less time wasting time waiting and more time designing or producing stuff. So overall, I've been really impressed with this laptop. I highly recommend it to architects looking to upgrade. It's got that perfect balance between mobility and performance. In terms of price, this specific spec laptop here in the UK would come in around £3,500. Maybe get a better deal if you can find it on sale. Keep in mind though that this is the top of the line specs that you can get for this computer. So depending on the configuration you want, this model starts from around £2,500, and depending on the specs you have, it goes up from there. This price range of around £3,500 is fairly competitive for this kind of top end of the market, and you get a lot for your money with this laptop. For me, my computer is my living, so it's my modern day tools of the trade, so I would recommend spending a bit of money on your laptop, depending on what you can afford, of course. But hopefully in this video, it outlines everything you need to know to make your own informed decisions. You can take on my advice, but also spend time looking at what works best for you. Otherwise, a huge thanks to MSI for partnering with us on this one and giving us this incredible laptop. Hopefully you'll see more collaborations with MSI and ATN in the future. As always, if you find this video informative, give us a like and a subscribe. The larger the channel grows, the more content we can bring to you. Otherwise, thanks again for joining, and we'll see you in the next video.